So our readings today are talking about consolation and blessedness of doing God's will, even though it brings suffering. Especially the gospel talks about it, consolation and blessedness, even when we are suffering, when we do God's will. I want us to focus on our first reading today. We begin hearing St. Paul. All this week, you're going to hear St. Paul. And in the second verse of today's reading, St. Paul says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and God of all encouragement, who encourages us in our every affliction, so that we may be able to encourage those who are in any affliction with the same encouragement with which we ourselves are encouraged by God." So you see that we are instrument of encouragement. That God encourages us in our afflictions so that we also encourage one another. When we are afflicted, we come to God, we cry, we ask Him, and He encourages us to move on, to take our crosses and to follow Him, to continue to do His will. So in the same way, He wants us to encourage one another. You know, in any family, we have people who need encouragement. In our communities, we have people who need encouragement. And God says you are the instrument of encouragement because He encourages us when we are in afflictions. The question is, how often are we encouraging one another? Can we find those people who need encouragement in our families, in our community, in our neighborhood? So we are reminded today to be instrument of encouragement to one another because God encourages us so that we encourage one another. Blessedness and consolation to us is given when we do the will of God, even when it brings suffering.